Going live with the Fall in Love with You series. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. As we're waiting for people to join us, a couple minutes past the hour of 9, but hopefully people are still hanging out. It's Friday, so I don't know if wherever you are, things are open. I think restaurants just started to open here in New York, but it's still cold. It's still cold, so I don't know that anybody is actually going out. Well, let me go to, oh, my chat is there. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Facebook and YouTube. Type in the chat. Let me know how you are. Hello, Instagram. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. We are at day 3 of the Fall in Love with You series, where I am sharing about the 3 blockages that many women face to falling in love with themselves, right? Subconsciously holding them back from self-love and manifesting their desires in their life. It was here we go. Hi, IG. It was the new moon yesterday. So did you all set some intentions for the new moon? Did you set any intentions? Let me know what your intentions are. Hey, Kiki. Adia Shakur, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello to everybody in IG land. Welcome, welcome. Did you all set some intentions for the new moon yesterday? And if so, what are some of your intentions? What do you want to? Roberta said yes. Awesome, awesome. So if you didn't set any intentions, then definitely the universe is still right. We're in the waxing moon cycle now. So this is a good time to plant your intentions into the universe so that you can manifest whatever that you want. This is the winter season. So winter, winter can be hard. Winter is hard for me. I think I told y'all I don't really like cold. It's hard. So during the winter season, this is the time to clear, right, and to release and to go within, to go deep within, and to do the clearing work so that when it comes time for spring, right, our energy is clear and we could begin to see the sprouts, right, the sprouts from the ground. What happens in spring? The grass begins to turn green and the flowers begin to grow. Okay, so we want to clear, right? Release in the winter and be still. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard for me because I like to be hot. I like warmth. I like summertime, but we want to release and clear in the winter. We want to relax. We want to preserve our energy, preserve our life force so that when the energy starts to rise again in the springtime, which is really starts next month, that we begin to see the sprouts from the seeds that we planted. All right, so Roberta, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Or is it Roberta? To conquer procrastination, fear, and to find my forever love. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Clear release from the winter. Yes, absolutely. Denise says, feeling good, ready for Black Love Day tomorrow. Yes, looking forward to Sunday's event. Yay. Hello, hello. And Tasha's in the house and Jackie's back. Awesome, awesome. I love it. Black Love Day. I know there's some people start something called a Coma Day, which a lot of people recognize instead of Valentine's Day. Well, however you recognize it, this is a time where a lot of people are focused on love and loving. And that's why I decided that we would focus on self-love. So hopefully with your intentions for the new moon for this year, hopefully you have within that something about yourself, something about cultivating more self-love, something about developing a relationship with yourself, right? Which is what we are wanting to do. So this is day 3, part 3 with the Fall in Love with You series. 3 blockages that most women face that are subconsciously holding them back from self-love and manifesting their desires. I'm just going to do a quick recap. So the first blockage that we talked about on Wednesday that's preventing us from manifesting more self-love is that we don't understand worthiness. Okay, we're stuck on deservedness. And I talked about how deservedness is based upon things outside of ourselves, right? Deservedness is like, I gotta have the right degrees and the right car, and I have to work hard, and I gotta hustle, right? And then I should be able to get what I want. Um, and when that doesn't happen, when it doesn't measure up, we begin to feel low self-esteem. We begin to doubt ourselves. Okay. And we are stuck on deservingness. We need to understand worthiness. And worthiness is based upon our divine identity. We are worthy of the good things in life just because we exist. Just because we exist, we're worthy. Okay. So that was day one. Day two, which is last night, I talked about how a lot of us as women are stuck on perfection syndrome. All right, perfection syndrome. We think that we have to always, we have to always get it right. We got to be perfect. We don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Yes, Roberta, deservingness slash worthiness. Yes. So when we're stuck on perfection syndrome, very often we are comparing our inside with somebody else's outside. Okay, comparing our inside with somebody else's outside. So the person, whomever it is, we want to fixate on in social media land, or in our, who we know in our life. And from the outside, we may think that their life looks perfect, that is great, and that our life in comparison is so dull and drab, but we don't ever know what anybody else has going on. Okay, so be very careful of comparing your inside with somebody else's outside, because you never know what they have going on. Okay, so those were the first 2 days. And the last blockage that I'm going to talk about today, which I'm excited to talk about this one, because I think this is a big one that plagues many women in terms of developing self-love and manifesting what they want. Okay, so blockage number 3 is that we as women are not selfish enough, or we're not selfish, right? We are not selfish. We don't prioritize our desires. We don't prioritize our wants, and we do not prioritize developing and having a relationship with ourself. One of my teachers, I believe it was Kenya K. Stevens. Anybody know Kenya K. Juju Mama? When I was beginning my journey and getting into my feminine energy, she was one of the wonderful women who I work with. So she said, if I remember correctly, men come into this life needing to learn how to give. Okay, and women come into this life needing to learn how to receive. Okay, a lot of us as women have difficulty receiving. We're used to giving. Okay, and most men, my experience, don't have a problem with receiving. Okay, um, and we as women, a lot of times we pride ourselves on being givers, and it's a form of our identity. Okay, what's Mandy saying? Hello, guys. I missed the first 2 live shows. I'm making sure that I caught this one tonight. Yay, but I'm blind. I would love to read some of your literature. Are you on Audible? Oh, hi, Goddess Mandy. That's a great question. That is something that I need to do, is to actually create my own audio versions of my books. So thank you for that reminder. I received that. Yes, yes. Okay. So we as women are not selfish, because a lot of us pride ourselves on being givers. And of course, it is the feminine nature to be nurturing and to be nourishing and to give. But you cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay, you cannot give when you are depleted. And many of us are walking around depleted. Many of us are walking around with empty cups. Okay, excuse me. If you saw a starving man and he offered you food, would you take food from a starving man? Okay, if you were a starving man and you had your last sandwich or bite of food, would you give that food to somebody else? No, you would eat it yourself. You wouldn't take food from a starving man, because that starving man needs to eat his own food. But many of us, we are starving in many ways, and we're giving our food away. Okay, we're depleting ourselves. All right. And even, deeper with that, as I mentioned, we base our identity on that. We use giving as a way of trying to buy love. All right. We give to others in a way to try to convince them of our worthiness, all right, of our deservedness. We're trying to, some people buy love with material things and money. Many of us as women, we are rationing, we are trying to ration some love, right, by overgiving. So I wanted to read a quote about this from my book, my latest book called Nice for What, which your IG and Facebook and YouTube can see. So Nice for What, how to go from being a good girl to a badass goddess. And there's a part in this book that I talk about selfishness, and I like the way I worded it, so I'm going to read it to y'all. And it has a quote from the wonderful and the amazing Iyanla Vanzant, whom I just love her. She's like my spiritual mother in my head. Okay. So here's the quote about selfishness from my book. Many of us have been taught that as women, we must be selfless, that our purpose on earth is to serve everyone else. Many of us, in fact, feel guilty when we do things for ourselves. How many women experience that when you do something for yourself, especially if you're a mother, right? You start to feel guilty because you're doing something for yourself. We have deeply embedded into our subconscious that it's selfish. Life coach and spiritual godmother to many of us, Iyanla Vanzant, reframes the conversation and talks about being self-full. In an episode of Oprah's Life Class, Iyanla says, it is self-full to be first, to be as good as possible to you, to take care of you, to keep you whole and healthy. That doesn't mean you disregard everything and everyone, but you want to come with your cup full. My cup runneth over. What comes out of the cup is for y'all. What's in the cup is mine, but I've got to keep my cup full. So are you keeping your cup full, or are you continuously pouring from your cup, maybe leaving yourself with some steam and a soggy tea bag? Iyanla drops some other jewels in this interview. And I love this part. This part right here, when I read this, I was like, ooh, this is church. Iyanla says, you are the representation of God in your life. And you put you last and put other people ahead of you, which means you're putting other things and other people ahead of God in your life. A lot of times when we are being nice and sacrificing our needs and wants for others, we think we're doing something righteous, when in fact, the holiest thing we can do is to honor ourselves first. For in honoring ourselves, we honor the God within. Okay? So that's from Nice for What? My book. You can go get it on Amazon. I'm trying to get the good light in here. You can find it on Amazon, Nice for What by Lady Shepsa. If you go to my website, Let Go Like Goddess, then there's a link for it as well. You can read about it and it will take you to Amazon to purchase it. Okay, so being self-full, all right, being self-full. We need to learn to be self-full. So in my journey of reconnecting to myself and finding the goddess within me and the divine feminine within me, it became very important for me to have practices, okay, that I devote to myself, to connecting with myself. Nicely put together, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep it beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. I feel the love, feel the love. Thank you for the love. So it became very important for me to cultivate practices that I could do with myself. And this is where I found the beauty of Tantra and sacred sexuality and Taoist practices, because I learned specific practices that I could do to fill my own cup. All right, I learned practices that I could do to make me feel full. And from this fullness, then I could go out and I could give to the world. Okay, but I couldn't give to the world if I'm exhausted. And a lot of us as women, especially women of color, a lot of us as Black women, the expectation is that we are supposed to break our fucking back for everybody, which is bullshit. Okay, slavery is over. All right, our ancestors took a lot, and that the time is over. Okay, so we're more free, we're more liberated than they were. So we have to reclaim our time and reclaim the necessity of self-care. We have to reclaim the necessity of being selfish and to be self-full. All right, it's not our job to say, even though a lot of us do it, and this world owes a lot to Black women. We saw that with the election that happened in America. But it's not our job to go around and save everybody in this damn world. We have, if we are depleted within, right? If we are repressed within, if we are not taking time. I think about my mother. My mother, for those who don't know, she passed away last year, and my mother never, she spent a lot of our time working hard, like a lot of our mothers did, going to school and working a job and working overtime and then coming home tired and exhausted and doing that just for years. It's literally like being a workforce so she could provide for her 3 children as a single mother. But my mother, like she never had a spa day. She never had a massage, and she never got to do all these things that could contribute to her self-care. She had her own ways like that. She liked to relax. She liked to watch the news and television, all types of things, but with my transition in 2019. All right, rest in peace. I know how that is, how challenging it is when a parent, especially your mom, passes. So, yes. So, us, I feel like every generation has a job to take it further. So I feel like our job is to take it one step further than what our mothers were able to do. All right. Self-care wasn't even a concept that my mother had, or, that was even around, when she was coming up and even as an adult. It was like, what is self-care? You go to work and you come home and you relax and then you go back to work again. And your kids eat and that's enough. Your bills are paid, all right? It's about survival. But we have to reclaim our time. We have to preserve our life force. We have to be selfish. And this will help us to cultivate more self-love, because literally you are loving yourself. When you are gentle with yourself, when you are easy with yourself, this is how you build a relationship with yourself. Okay, a lot of us, we want, if you don't have a partner, we want to manifest partners that love us and respect us and give to us, but we don't do that for ourselves, right? We don't prioritize ourselves. So this is something that has to change. We have to make the most important relationship that we have be our relationship with ourselves and the God within ourselves, according to our understanding of whatever God is or the universe is, however you like to see it. But though that is the most important relationship, is our relationship with ourselves. And when we are full of ourselves, when we are self-full, as Iana said, right, when we are full of self-love, then everybody else has to reflect that or move out the fucking way. Okay, like that's it. If you can't recognize, my need for love, my need for self-care, and the relationship that I have with myself, you can't respect that and feed to that as opposed to just taking from that, then they can't be in our life, and that's just basically it. So for me, as I mentioned, when I was on the path of reconnecting to myself and finding myself, I found the practices of Tantra and sacred sexuality to be like the most healing and the most beautiful ever. Because for me, those practices combine 2 aspects of myself. It combined the spiritual aspect of myself that was always there. I'm a Pisces, so I've been like, we just kind of come out here spiritual. And also the deeply sensual and sexual aspect of myself. And it also awakened me to understanding that combining spirituality and sexuality is not new. Okay, this is something actually that existed in ancient times for literally hundreds and thousands of years. So we, of course, we know a lot about, we don't know a lot, but we've heard very often of Tantra, which, comes from India, and the Taoist practices that come from China. And these are philosophies and practices that go for thousands of years. And they did not see sex as something dirty. They did not view sex and sensuality as something that needed to be repressed. They saw it really as a channel with which one could connect the spirit. So learning these practices like breast massage, which is one of my favorite practices that we are definitely doing in the Goddess of Self-Love ritual. So make sure if you have not signed up yet, please sign up for the Goddess of Self-Love ritual. You can find it also on my website, letgoletgoddess.com, and just go to V-Day event. It's going to be on Sunday. And I'm putting the link now for YouTube and Facebook. And anybody on IG, you go to my bio and you click for links, you'll see V-Day online, V-Day event, or Goddess of Self-Love event, whatever I call it, I don't remember, but you'll see it. So during the Goddess of Self-Love ritual, I'll be sharing some of these practices that I have been doing for almost the past decade to cultivate my relationship with myself, to cultivate my sensual self-care. So breast massage is one of those practices. And breast massage, let me tell you a little bit about breast massage. So breast massage is very powerful. Take a sip of water real quick. I'm talking about the breast now. So breast massage. So in Taoism, where this practice comes from Taoism, ancient China. So in Taoism, the breasts are considered to be the wings of the heart. Okay, so the breasts have a spiritual meaning. It's not just, of course, it's for the baby and it's nurturing the baby and giving the baby love, for our lovers as well. But spiritually, for ourselves, they are considered to be the wings of the heart. So when you are tender and loving and nurturing with your breast, you actually bring healing to the heart and the heart chakra, okay? And many of us, because of traumas, because of heartbreak, grief, everything, we have broken hearts. Our hearts have gone through a lot, okay? So breast massage is a very beautiful and powerful way to nurture self-love and to also bring healing to our heart. Sadia says, you're full of wisdom. I want to come to your workshop, but these 2 days are not good for me. That's why I have not signed up. I pray that I can have some time to attend on Sunday. Live your teacher. Thank you, Sadia. I appreciate it. I know some people may not be available, but I'm thinking about doing this maybe like once a month. So I'm seeing how this first one goes, because I feel like this cultivating self-love is something that women need to do like all the time. And I do have different programs and things that run, during different times of the year, but I'm thinking about just doing this as like a repeat workshop, once a month. So we'll see. So hopefully if you can't come this Sunday, you can do something else that I'm doing in the future, or if I decide to run this workshop again. Okay, so breast massage, yes, it helps to clear the blockages to our heart. So why, other than heartbreak, and having a broken heart and wanting to heal our heart. And that's important because the heart chakra represents our ability to give love and our ability to receive love. Okay, so first of all, we got to be able to give love to ourselves. That's number one. And we also need to be able to receive love. And as I mentioned, that's something that is difficult for a lot of us as women. We're much more comfortable being givers. All right. When it comes time to receiving, it may even feel like weird. Like, you ever had somebody be nice to you, or a man really show up and be nice, and you're just like what's going on? Like, what you want? Like, you become immediately suspicious because you're not used to receiving. But our reaction shouldn't be like that, right? We should have open, loving hearts that, first of all, open to ourselves, and that has the ability to receive love from others. And that doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries, right? That doesn't mean that you become a bleeding heart that just gives to everybody, because then that's an imbalance, right? If you're overgiving, that's an imbalance. So we want heart chakras, heart energy systems that are in balance, that we can give love freely and we can receive love freely. So doing breast massage, along with the health benefits of breast massage, helping to move, bring blood and chi into our breasts, right? Chi is life force. It means life force in Taoism. So we want to move like blood and lymph. And the lymph fluid in our body carries the waste. It's like the plumbing system of our body. Okay, so when we're doing breast massage and massaging our breasts, we're helping to move blood and to move lymph. So it has a health benefit as well. It can also make our breasts fuller, more supple, and more sensitive orgasmically. And it also helps to heal and to cleanse the energy in the heart chakra, helps to relieve heartache, okay, and heartbreak. And that's important because there's a connection between the heart and the yoni, okay, in our womb space. So think about your body, right? The heart is here and the womb is here, and they're on the same line of energy. People on IG can see a little bit better, right? The heart and the womb are on the same line of energy. So when we do not deal with certain issues and traumas in our heart, and we do not heal our heartbreak, that energy will flow down from the heart to the womb. Because in Tantra and in Taoist practices, the heart, for women, our heart chakra and our breast center is our active center. Okay, so our heart and our breast is what's considered to be the center in our body that actually activates the womb and activates the yoni. Okay, so when we're working with our heart and working with our breasts, actually helps the yoni in our womb to become activated. All right. So when we do healing work for our breasts, which affects our heart, it has a trickle down effect to our womb space and to our yoni. So releasing that energy, that stuck energy in the breast, it also helps to release stuck energy in our womb space. Okay. So during the Goddess of Self-Love ritual on Sunday, we'll be doing some breast massage. I'll talk more about the breast and the connection between the heart breast center and the womb space. And we'll also be doing some abdominal massage and womb and yoni massage, self-massage on ourselves to help to release the energy and also to awaken pleasure, because it's healing our body on a physical level and a spiritual level, but it's also bringing pleasure. Because the more that you are open, the more that energy is flowing, the more sensitive you are to energy, the more orgasmic you will be, and the more pleasure you will experience. And in sacred sexuality, pleasure is medicine. Pleasure is medicine. And that's something that I have learned through these practices. And I do these practices to bring healing to my body, to heal and release traumas and blockages and stuck energy. And I do it as well to become more sensitive to pleasure. And first of all, it's for me, right? So me becoming more sensitive to pleasure and becoming more orgasmic benefits me first, right? I feel more orgasmic and like that's always good. That's feels good for us, but and then it also will benefit when you are with a lover. All right. There's a big issue with many women not being orgasmic. Okay. About 75% of women do not orgasm from vaginal sex alone. Many women fake orgasms. However, when we begin to cultivate our sensual self-care, when we begin to touch our bodies with love, to awaken our orgasmic energy within ourselves, when we do come to a lover, when we do experience a lover, like our energy is already flowing. Our energy is already open. So the lover really just benefits from this openness. And you'll find that if you start to do these practices on a consistent basis, that your experience with lovers will change. You'll become multi-orgasmic. You'll be full body orgasmic, and you'll really feel the healing power of sex. Okay. So that's just a little bit about that. But on Sunday, we'll be doing a lot of the massage, a lot of the breathing practices. We'll be doing some journaling. We'll be doing an exercise to connect our heart and our womb together so that the heart and the womb communicate. Okay, so I mentioned that the heart is the active center or our yang center in our body, and the womb is the yin center or the receptive center. So we need our heart, we need our womb to be in communication, okay, so that the energy can flow. So we'll be doing something to help to bring these two energy centers in communication. So that's very important. Okay, so hopefully, if you haven't signed up and you can attend on Sunday, the Goddess of Self-Love Ritual, hopefully that I will see you Sunday. And if you already signed up, awesome. It's going to be a really, really good time. If you have already signed up, make sure that you do the Sweet Thing spiritual bath before the workshop so that your order is nice and sweet. Okay, so I'm going to begin to wrap it up. I'm going to restate the 3 blockages that are stopping a lot of women from connecting to their self-love. And I will close also tonight with another poem. So if you've been hanging out with me the past 2 nights, I've been closing with some poetry. And it's Friday, so it's a good time to, do something creative. Okay, so the 3 blockages that most women face that are subconsciously holding them back for manifesting more self-love and manifesting their desires are: number 1, we don't understand worthiness. We are stuck on deservedness, trying to prove ourselves, right? And instead of just knowing that we are worthy because we are. Number 2, many of us are stuck in perfection syndrome. We think we have to be perfect. We don't give ourselves place to play and to get it wrong. And we spend a lot of time comparing someone else's outside to our inside. Okay, comparing ourselves to people and not understanding the full story. And the last blockage many of us have is that we are not selfish, right? We do not prioritize having a relationship with ourselves. Okay, so those are the 3 reasons. And now I will share the last poem with you all from my book, The Goddess Pages. So this poem, I've shared this a couple times on IG. So if you heard it before, hope you enjoy it again. But this is called I Am Goddess. And this was the first poem that I wrote after I started doing this work and started doing these practices. A little bit about my background. I went to high school. I went to arts high school. So I've been in the arts like forever. I've been an artist. So I went to arts high school. So I was a creative writing major in my high school. And then I went to theater school. I went to NYU and I was a drama major. Okay. However, after graduating college and I started to lose a connection to myself and to my voice, I stopped performing and I stopped writing. And literally my throat chakra shut down. I started getting sore throats and laryngitis. And that was, a lot about me not speaking up, not speaking my truth and not sharing myself. So I had to do a lot of healing work to unblock my throat chakra and to reconnect to my creativity. So this poem was the first poem that I wrote when I began to heal. All right, so this is always a very special poem for me. So it's called I Am Goddess, and I'll drink my water again. Okay. I am Goddess. If you could feel the thunder between my thighs, it would give you whiplash. Hit you so fast you be cross-eyed. My body a boom of healing sliding up your spine. Kundalini energy connecting me to you so deep, you might get confused and think it's about you, but see, I've been doing this for centuries. Way back when, in the days of the goddess, my Isis was so sick I could create immaculately, give birth to a god from the seed of my dead king. Let divine energy shock you through my body. I be Shakti, the temple's my yoni. Fuck a new universe through me. I am the first Big Bang. My orgasm gave birth to the galaxy. What do they call me? They call me Sweet Thing. I bet you the neighbors, they know my name. I tell you the planets, they know my name. Call me Venus, bare-breasted, snake charmer, cat-eye enchantress, tantra priestess. Come see me for your healing. Come see me for your healing. I put those sexually commodified Black woman stereotypes to rest. Taste the sugar dripping from my breast. Enter the river of my wetness. Come and fill me with your yang. Warrior king, do your thing. Make me call you Shango, and I'll be your Oshun from Oshogbo, and chanting you with my sweet honey dance, while at the same time healing my womb. Daughter of the moon, call me Kali. I hail from the land of the black goddesses, a dancing dakini. We be Twizzler twirl in space, ejaculating stars, divine alchemy. Leave you spellbound with my sex magic. I speak my voodoo clearly, as any freedom from the home bring you home to me. Love you down, lay you out, heal you with my sex therapy. I am goddess. Okay? So hopefully y'all enjoy that. And also enjoy this series, Fall in Love with You series. And once again, if you are interested, please join us for the Goddess of Self-Love Ritual, which is going down this Sunday, okay? And I'll be sharing, we'll be doing some hands-on work and doing some practices, okay? All right, so if that is all, no questions, then God is blessings to everybody. Good night, good night, good night. Thank you for joining me. All right, good night, Instagram. Okay, and good night, YouTube and Facebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the love.